Getting ready to buy or sell a home in 30, 60, or 90 days? Then check out BundleSelect.com to find out how you could save 20% or more on your entire transaction. Save on real estate, lending, and title. With BundleSelect.com, technology and a personal concierge are at your service to save you time and money. Bundle Select's hand-picked team of experts will compete for your business, so you'll save thousands of dollars by bundling all of these services. BundleSelect.com gives you all the control, including using your own realtor. I'm Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live, and I have been on the radio educating consumers for years. By bundling services like real estate, lending, and title, you could save tens of thousands of dollars. Act now, and this new model could save you money on your move, lower your interest rate, or cover your closing costs. Visit BundleSelect.com. That's BundleSelect.com.
The estimated minimum savings are based on a comparison with a national average. Individual results may vary, and the estimated savings are not guaranteed. Bundle Select Inc. is a licensed real estate broker. California Bureau of Real Estate Broker license number 004666902.
Welcome to Real Estate Radio Live, an informative and engaging podcast discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, Joe Kuchera, provides you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate. He also offers real estate tax management strategies, new construction advice, home improvement tips, and much, much more. And now, to guide you around the world of real estate, here's your host and Real Estate Radio Live team leader, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome in, Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you for those that are watching us on our live stream on Facebook. Again, we try to do the podcast every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if our schedules permit. Also, every once in a while, we'll do Fridays with Jack Russo. Matter of fact, just an update, we will have Jack Russo and another CEO of a startup in our studio on Friday, so be sure to tune in. For more information, you could always go to RERL-1515.com. That's RERL-1515.com. Most of you know, for almost 8 years, if you've been following the show, the focus is education and information. We continue to try to take it to new levels as we're doing this Facebook feed live. We want to continue doing that because we want to expose the show to more people and just get this information out to more and more consumers to help you make wise decisions in and around your real estate. Although we've expanded the show, as I mentioned before, we added Jack Russo. He's doing something, starting something new in Silicon Valley. We have great guests like Geraldine. I'll reintroduce her in just a minute. Really with an effort to continue to educate the consumer in so many different ways. Silicon Valley is such a unique place to live and work. Most of you know that have been here, and we also get a lot of downloads out of the state, out of the country, because I think there's a huge interest in Silicon Valley in general. So we're going to give you some updates on what's going on and much, much more. For more information, if you want to reach me during the week, lastly, 408-838-9060, or you could always email joe@reradiolive.com. All right, let me invite my guest in, and she is a regular on the show, whether she likes it or not. We're going to keep having her back. Geraldine Berry.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Always good to have Geraldine Berry. So she's with Geraldine Berry and Associates. We're going to talk a little bit about what Geraldine's doing, but and a few more things. She's going to give us an update on the economy, some of the local stuff that's going on, and some really good information that we want to share with you today. But before we do that, Geraldine, as always, I'd like to have my guests, even though you're a regular visitor to the show, just give the listeners a little bit about your background, and then we can get started.
Sure. Well, I sold a company in the real estate space 3 years ago, and that was a real estate investment organization that I founded and presided over for 13 years. And I was also a publisher of a real estate investor magazine. And in that capacity, I met a list of who's who in the real estate world, and I had the opportunity to fraternize and learn from them and bring that information back to the organization and those people. And as an investor myself, I grew a little portfolio. Now I'm still working on that, but I'm very happy with what I've done and what I've been able to do. And the people I've met, including you, Joe, over the years, has been very interesting and informative and has helped me stay on the cutting edge of what's happening in real estate.
Yeah, Geraldine, as we get more in depth, she's involved in not only real estate, the background, but she's working consulting with another group. And there's a lot of stuff going on, and I think you want to give us an update, kind of an economic. I know you attend a lot of events. You're a guest speaker at a lot of events, not only on real estate, but a lot of economic and things. So maybe you want to share with the listening audience today a little bit about some of this data?
Well, I just got back from Miami, and I was there speaking at the IMN conference, and I was on 2 panels. One of them was a Shark Tank-like
Love the
panel.
Shark Tank.
Well, I was the only woman. I guess I was Barbara Corcoran. And it was fun. And I've done that before. I did it at their Los Angeles one, and I've had the pleasure of speaking at those. And that's actually something I love to do. I was an entrepreneur major at college. I love focusing on deals and business, seeing what's right, what's wrong with the deal. And so it was fun. And then the other panel that I participated on was a panel for outsourcing services. And what services should you outsource, even offshore, in your business? And a client of mine right now is Intellisys Technology, and they outsource accounting services for the real estate industry and property management specifically. And they have a really tight ship that they run that's very effective and can take the accounting headache off your plate as a business owner, which can oftentimes be a big constraint.
Let's talk a little bit about that. We're right in the heart of Silicon Valley. We talk about technology all the time, Geraldine, but technology hopefully comes with efficiencies, systems, processes, improvements. What you're doing for this group is really selling a service that a lot of people don't understand. They could get high quality, incredible work from a CPA or CPA-related advice in companies that a lot of people don't know about.
Exactly. This company, it's based out of Chicago. They've been in the outsourcing space for years. Raju and Vishy are the 2 principals. They grew up in India. And they have a facility there in Chennai, and it has 250 people that work there. All of them are degreed. Yeah. They're full-time. They come to work. They don't bring their phones. They're not on Facebook. Actually, when I was in an Uber with Raju in Miami, he showed me a live feed of the office in India and was pointing out somebody to me that I had been on a conference call with earlier. So it's just amazing what technology can do now. But they have a very efficient, effective operation, and it helps people streamline processes. And because we've been doing this for such a long time, we've developed a book of procedures. And so if you come on as a client and you don't have processes in place and systems, we've encountered that previously. So we can short-circuit your learning curve. And the one thing that we do need to be effective, and I highlight this with every client we meet with, is that in order for you to offshore effectively, you have to have one point of contact on the ground for us, and we have one point of contact for you, and that relationship needs to be seamless. The communication needs to be explicit and very, very seamless, and if that does not happen, that is the only way there could be there could be an issue. And so we always make sure, if we take on a client, that we have one point of contact, that they buy into what we're doing. We're an adjunct to the business. We're not trying to come in and remove jobs. We're trying to help you focus on your core business by taking some of the auxiliary stuff off your plate. And we help make tax season a breeze for people. So how nice is that?
So tell us, the listeners out there are listening to, obviously following us on Facebook, but later on they'll be listening to this via podcast.
Yes.
For those that are listening, Geraldine, give us kind of the people that might be looking for these services. Is it small, medium-sized companies, real estate related? Who might benefit from these services you're talking about?
Any real estate company, but specifically we're very experienced in the property management space.
Got it.
So we can help people with utilities. You can do that offline. So you don't want somebody that you're paying $30 an hour here calling up utilities, checking to see who's paid. But 300 units and above, we can do up to 20,000.
Very good.
And so our goal is to make that seamless for you. And once it's operational, up and running, it's labor intensive for the first month. After that, the reports are there. We can help you to pull any kind of report that you want. Utilities, Section 8 clients. We have one client that has several hundred Section 8 tenants. That can be labor intensive in terms of tracking, etc. So we can do all of that online, and because of technology now, it's seamless.
Very
and
good.
our staff is very experienced with that. So a brokerage would be a good target market for us. One of our brokerages asked us to produce 10,000 1099s last minute for them.
There you go.
And we performed.
Very good. So if they want to try to reach you, what's the best place? Their website, phone number, email? What's the best place to reach you if they want more information about these services?
My direct number is 408-396-7177, 408-396-7177, and the company is Intellisys Technology.com, so you can take a look at the website there. But
very good.
Connecting with me directly, I run the Silicon Valley division for them. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you happen to forget or something, what about that gal that was talking about those consulting services? You could always go to our website and email me, and we could make sure you get in touch with Geraldine. What's great about having Geraldine on is she's the Renaissance entrepreneur. She could give us the information about these consulting services, but also you're so in tune with what's going on in the Silicon Valley. You meet with a lot of leaders. You're a part of a lot of different organizations. I think you're going to share with us today a little bit about some of the economic news, maybe?
Yeah, actually, I had the pleasure of attending the economic summit that was presented at San Jose State University. I've been going for several years, but it was presented by Bridge Bank and Hopkins and Carly downtown, but it was at the Student Union Ballroom. And if you haven't been to San Jose State recently...
I haven't been recently.
Their student union is absolutely spectacular.
Good. That's good to hear.
It's a multi-million-dollar facility, and San Jose State is looking terrific.
Good.
So the speaker there was Sam Liccardo, our mayor.
Oh, yeah.
And also Christopher Thornburg, who you and I know. He's an economist from Beacon Economics, and I've interviewed him many times for my magazine. He's written and contributed for it, and he's exceptional. What I'd like to share today is more of Mayor Liccardo's insights, and because there was a panel of experts, obviously I can't share everything, but they're looking at the Silicon Valley's economic landscape and discussing, what's on the horizon and how this may impact business. And so one of the things that they talked about, very strong job growth in 2018. Best year yet in terms of jobs. Over 400,000 jobs have been created. We're on track in 2018 to do over 400,000 jobs. And so that's something that brings a lot of challenges with traffic, with housing. How are you going to house all these people? But it's not changing. Jobs are being created. So this is not a fallacy. It's not based on stock market that is flying. It's based on actual jobs, and it's definitely being maintained, and currently we're in full swing.
As you talk about that, what resonates, I happened to be on the phone today on a conference call with Fannie Mae. Our friend, Doug Duncan, put me in contact with his technology and support people that are working on different pilot programs, right? Yes. And as you bring up the housing, it's great to have this job growth, and it's really exciting. But one of the biggest problems we have here, and I think all over the place, is and this is what Fannie Mae was talking about today, how do we help people get into housing? How do we make it more affordable? Because that's the way it goes, right? Everybody's all excited and exuberant about all this wonderful stuff, but we got a problem.
We have houses where our average house is, over $900,000, and that's not accessible to the average person. But here are some things that Mayor Liccardo shared. Good. Companies recently expanding into San Jose. Adobe is here with a big presence, but they're also increasing their numbers. Microsoft, Western Digital, Zoom, Bloom Energy, Hewlett-Packard Enterprises, Splunk, Amazon, WeWork, 8x8, Global Cloud Communication. So San Jose, finally, we're getting a lot of traction in terms of companies coming here. And this was not the case. For many, many years, we had companies going to, obviously, Cupertino, Mountain View, Sunnyvale, and now we are getting some traction here. And so that's good news. I bet you did not know this about San Jose Airport. It's taking off. It's the fastest growing U.S. airport for 2 consecutive years. Did you know that, Joe?
I did not know about that. I did not know.
Well, since 2014, San Jose Airport has welcomed 7 new airlines, added 25 new non-stop flights, and increased passengers by a whopping 51%.
That is amazing. I had no idea.
Did you have any idea?
Little San Jose.
There's a whole team that runs the San Jose Airport, and because I'm a member of the San Jose Rotary, I meet some of these people, and who knew that it was such a big business? But let's talk about growth and what they're thinking about in terms of economic growth and how to maintain the growth. So proximity to the businesses. So the focus is on smart growth. So you want to focus growth in downtown and along the transit corridors. You want high density housing near mass transit. You want employers near transit and homes. And you want housing in jobs-rich cities. Right. We qualify, Joe. I mean, we have the jobs. Now we need to be doing some of these things to ensure that the growth happens. So this is the plan for the next few years. And 25,000 new homes in 5 years, 10,000 affordable houses. And so what does that mean? Affordable houses for whom? For teachers, for student housing, eliminate red tape so that teachers can get houses, so that we can maintain our education system. Because nobody wants to live in a valley where they cannot afford to own a home. What we're going to do is, let's do this. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to come back because we have a lot of additional information to share. We're going to come back and do that. So this is Joe Kuchera at Real Estate Radio Live. For those that are watching us streaming live on Facebook, stick with us. We're going to take a quick break. Hope we don't make fools out of ourselves during the break. But we're going to come back. We're going to have Geraldine Barry then continue to tell us a little bit about the economy, the Bay Area, and then much, much more. We'll be back with you in just a minute.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com.
Getting ready to buy or sell a home in 30, 60, or 90 days? Then check out BundleSelect.com to find out how you could save 20% or more on your entire transaction. Save on real estate, lending, and title. With BundleSelect.com, technology and a personal concierge are at your service to save you time and money. Bundle Select's hand-picked team of experts will compete for your business, so you'll save thousands of dollars by bundling all of these services. BundleSelect.com gives you all the control, including using your own realtor. I'm Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live, and I have been on the radio educating consumers for years. By bundling services like real estate, lending, and title, you could save tens of thousands of dollars. Act now, and this new model could save you money on your move, lower your interest rate, or cover your closing costs. Visit BundleSelect.com. That's BundleSelect.com.
The estimated minimum savings are based on a comparison with the national average. Individual results may vary, and the estimated savings are not guaranteed. Bundle Select Inc. is a licensed real estate broker. California Bureau of Real Estate Broker license number 004666902.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's topic or guests, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for today's edition of Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome back in. Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. For those, again, continuing to watch the live feed, thank you for following the show. And just a reminder, we love the fact that the Facebook audience is growing. We certainly appreciate that. Thank you very much. However, we'd love to have you download the podcast, because if you can't make the show and you're not holding your breath going, can't wait till 3:05 when then you have the podcast. So go to RERadiolive.com, or you could just go to iTunes and type in Real Estate Radio Live. The podcast will come up. Download the podcast. That way you could listen to the show at your convenience. You could listen to past shows. You could save them. And we have a lot of great guests, and I say that not just to say it, but, you know, Geraldine, one of the things that I talk about all the time on the show, and I try to, is that I've never wanted to be a show where I'm, during the show, myself or my guest, just for the most part talks about stuff and presents information that is obvious and people already know, right?
Yeah, it's not a sales pitch.
Right,
And
exactly.
I think you and I have always been on the same page with that.
We hope we give value, right?
Intelligence and integrity. That's what we're trying to provide information around.
Let's jump back in. Geraldine was kind enough that she's given us some economic data. We're talking about a lot of what's going on in San Jose. Most of us are so busy working and doing all this stuff, we don't know a lot of this. So this is really nice to be able to get updates like this. So.
Yeah, and so I had mentioned that they were hoping to have 25,000 new homes in 5 years.
And 10,000 for low income, huh? Or not low income. Really?
Yeah.
So percentage-wise, that's encouraging.
That's very encouraging.
Yeah.
And also, what it means is that developers will have to include...
Correct.
And hopefully we'll get some incentives so we don't de-incentivize things so that they need to make money or they're not going to build. But partnerships are being established to house the missing middle. And then high density near transit areas. Downtown, there's so much going on. In fact, you have to have my friend Nuria Fernandez come talk about what's going on.
Absolutely, I love that.
She and I play golf together, and she's the CEO there.
Very good.
And she's an amazing woman, African-American woman. She's a success story, the first female to head that operation. And
let's get her on the show.
Just very articulate, too. So, but let's get back to the 25,000 new homes. 6,000 are entitled and 6,000 are in the entitlement process. So this is not out there wishing a prayer. It's actually happening. So 12,000 are already in the pipeline. So the goal is to do 20% more housing, decrease the price by 10%. And between San Jose and San Francisco, there's 150,000 units in the pipeline.
Wow.
And
that's going to happen. When
that's
they say
UCLA,
pipeline, right?
Anderson forecast.
Yeah.
It's not me,
that's
it's
great.
them. And so there's a big drive in the state of California in investment in affordable housing. So $250 million annually and $4 billion over the long term. And that's likely to produce 4,000 to 8,000 homes per year for 5 years.
Okay.
So if you look at the state of California housing production, annual production over the past 10 years, 80,000 houses. Annual need over the next 10 years is, hazard a guess, would you give a guess there?
4 or 5 times that?
Yeah, it's 180,000. So the annual gap is 100,000. That's also from UCLA Anderson forecast.
Okay.
So the opportunities are there for disruption. We're in Silicon Valley. When I take my walk in the morning and I see people sleeping in parks and on streets, it's so disturbing. And so hopefully Silicon Valley will come up with an answer. And one thing that the mayor mentioned that is happening, that I always had this idea, and now it's becoming a reality, but they're renovating old motels and making them homes for the homeless. So they have a kitchen so they can cook together. They have a room and a bed and a bathroom, private bathroom. And, this is something that could really make sense long term. You're not creating the small, smart houses that are a couple of $100,000 to build.
Just out of curiosity, I saw a show on this, and I know they're doing a little bit, maybe it was in Arizona or something, but have you heard much about these shipping containers, how they're converting those? Those are fabulous when you think about it.
No, but that's something.
So apparently there's thousands and thousands of these shipping containers that come to California, and there's no use for them. And so now some of these creative startup companies are bringing them to different communities and retrofitting them. And people are living in these little modern things. I mean, you think that's kind of weird, but they're beautiful. They really are.
And actually, to me, as I get older, I want to simplify. I want to get rid of a lot of stuff. The less clutter I have, the happier I am.
Yeah.
So the opportunities for disruption lie in affordability by design, affordability by financing, and affordability through policy. Yeah. So if we can work those three things, and I'm proud of what our city is doing, Joe. It's all very uplifting and positive. And I think that sometimes we get caught up in the things that are wrong. There's an anti-litter campaign going on, and I grew up in a small town in the south of Ireland, and my next door neighbour, her mom went to America, and she came back and she said, they don't litter in America. And she said, we need to, and now in Ireland you have tidy town competitions where it's absolutely unacceptable to litter. And in California, what happened? We're littering like crazy.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, that's another thing that our great mayor is doing. And so total housing permits for 2014 to 2016 in San Jose, it's bigger than Campbell, Cupertino, Gilroy, Sunnyvale. It's 8,561. And whereas Sunnyvale, for example, was 1,104, Santa Clara, 648. So we do have a significant number of permits for housing that went through. And so essentially the housing is the big issue, making sure that people can live here affordably, making sure that we take care of everybody and we make sure that people can live here in a fashion that's acceptable and they can become educated and they can work and do whatever they want, and not just people who are earning, $1 million.
Right. I mean, I know you talked about eliminating red tape, and I know that sounds good. Sometimes that's the biggest thing that's frustrating to me and most people get involved in, is that California is really one of the strictest, the building codes, permitting process issues. I'm hoping that's relaxed a little bit. And it sounds like if the focus is housing, I have to believe all of our politicians know that, right?
Well, they've already in California loosened up, when people have in-laws in their houses.
True.
So
I'm doing that right now.
I see things happening, and I can't address the specifics that are happening in terms of the building, but there are specific things occurring. And I'm not a developer, so I hope the developers are feeling heard and acknowledged. And I saw a panel of commercial guys that were interviewed, and they just said, we'd love to build, but we can't unless it makes economic sense. Right. And that was a part of their issue, all the red tape, the years that it takes to go through the hoops to get the permissions and planning permission, etc. So I think, but what I hear the mayor saying, the real thrust is developing, work, live, play spaces where people are not driving an hour to come to work, and that public transport is really being transformed. And the Deer Dawn station is going to be the biggest station this side of the Mississippi, and that's one thing that I think be interesting to your listeners to hear what's going on with that.
Is there much talk? You may have seen this article. It probably came out afterwards, obviously, but there's been talk a lot. And then there was some statistics and data recently. It's been all over Facebook and the news about approximately 46% of people say they're going to be leaving California in the next 3 to 5 years. It's too expensive. It's just, it's out of control, this, that. I know data and statistics could be skewed, but with all these good things going on, there's a lot of new housing. I think they're trying to do the best they can. What is your thought? I mean, you're around, you meet with these people a lot of times. You think there's any concern, or is this area in California always going to be so desirable that people are always going to be coming and going?
Well, I think every time that we have a boom like this, people say we're leaving.
Right.
And people go to Texas and then they come running back. I own property in Texas. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Texas, but
you wouldn't live there.
I don't want to. No.
No offense against Texas.
No
but
offense against Texas. No. And I own some property in St. Petersburg in Florida, and I could see myself being there for part of the year, but not all of the year. I think that this is where I'm an entrepreneur. There's nowhere else that I would rather live. I don't make $1 million a year. You have to kind of create your own destiny. You have to create work. You have to work hard. I mean,
that's true.
People don't. Some people want to, and especially the younger people coming up, they want to be making $100,000 very quickly. That really is not. You
got to put your time in.
You got to put in your time. You got to learn the ropes. I mean, my own son worked in my company, and I had him direct report to someone else, Colin. And I had to fire him because he was still not doing what he was told. And I feel bad, but you know what?
That's okay.
Said, that's fine.
Yeah, no, that's right. Well, we're just about out of time, so before we go, why don't you give our listeners again, they want to reach out and get a hold of you about the consulting services, some of the tax services being offered that are a wonderful service that a lot of people don't know about. How could they reach you again one more time before we go?
You can email me at Geraldine at GeraldineBarry.com, and you can reach me via phone at 408-396-7177, 408-396-7177, and Geraldine at GeraldineBarry.com.
Great. Thanks, Geraldine.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's always good to have you.
Yeah, it's always good to be here.
This is Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you again for those that are watching the show via Facebook, and be sure to download the podcast. Go to RERadiolive.com. We'll be back with you on Thursday for another show, and remember to tune in Friday. We have a special show. Jack Russo is going to be in studio with one of the startup CEOs. We're looking forward to that. Thanks again for checking in. Take care. Have a great afternoon.
You've been listening to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Subscribe to our podcast. Discover more at RERadiolive.com.